Alright, what's up, watchers? Welcome back. Once again, as I hit start streaming on OBS, some bullshit came up. Now, fortunately, it didn't have to do with my internet this time. Thank fucking God. I still have no idea what the hell was going on last week. This time, the world was like, hey, I know you just hit start streaming. I'm gonna give you the worst hiccups in the world. Have fun trying to get rid of them before you have to go to the just chatting screen. So that's what I was doing while Kaleidoskull was playing. I was just holding my breath, drinking water, just trying to get rid of these god-awful hiccups. It was that case of hiccups where, like, sometimes you get them, and it's very, like, light, you know, it only happens every once in a while, kind of annoying, not a big deal. The hiccups that I had were the ones where it's like, oh yeah, every 5 seconds, you're gonna have something fucked up happen with your lungs. It's like, ah, great, thanks, exactly what I need right before I go and start talking. But fortunately, I got rid of them in time, so we're good. Speaking of things that happened before the stream, so I actually started setup a lot earlier today, partially because of last week's issues. If you weren't here for them, whenever me and Val decided to try and stream Disco Elysium, my internet just went, no, you're not doing that. And, yeah, it took us, like, almost an hour to get things sorted. So today, I was like, okay, I'm gonna restart my PC because I was using it to play Vampire Survivors all day. Vampire Survivors, Sims, Voices of the Void, any of those. So it's like, I restart my PC, I restarted my modem, and I was getting other stuff just set up while I waited for my modem to come back, and I was like, hey, you know what? Steins Gate 0 has an extras section. Let's look at that. And it turns out the extras section actually just lists all the endings you've got, which is great. But it did make me realize something. So this whole time, I thought we got the Kagari ending. Because, I mean, the first ending we got involved Kagari pretty heavily. Like, the whole climax centered around her getting kidnapped and us trying to get her back before Kurisu's memories were uploaded into her. So I figured, oh, that's gotta be the Kagari ending, right? No, turns out I misremembered. That was the Kurisu ending. So, we've still got to do the Kagari ending, and then we have to do the Maho ending. And actually, as another first, hi KP, welcome to the stream! As another first, I actually pulled up the fucking ending guide before starting the stream. I know, this never happens. So we do have the Kurisu ending, as it turns out. So we still need the Kagari ending and the Maho ending. And I do think the Kagari ending would probably be the one that's easiest to get. Because it seems that I just have to go to the chapter Anatomic Duel and ignore a phone call instead of answering it. So, that seems easy enough, and that's like at the very, very tail end of the first route that we did. So, I think we're gonna start with that one, because Maho's ending seems like it's gonna take quite a while longer? See, it also doesn't help. Like, I am legitimately considering starting off the Maho route by just starting a new save game. Because, not having the skip feature makes it so hard for me to tell what we've already been through and what we haven't. Especially because we have been playing this for quite a while. So, and my memory is already garbage on a good day. So, yeah, I think it would be helpful if I could just, get that skip feature. Be able to use it to get the endings. I think that we would not have taken as many streams to get to the Mayuri ending as we did if I had just been able to use the fucking skip feature. But yeah, outside of that, I really don't have too much new to say. It's June, happy Pride, hell yes. It's also my birthday month, So I am at my strongest. You love to see it. You love to see it. You can't see it, but I am flexing. I am flexing my massive muscles. my arms that are a little bit less like noodles now that I work in a job where I'm like carrying around heavy boxes and coolers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've got to say, actually, I do have one topic that I can bring up before we start the game. And that is just that I'm trying to bring back a little tradition that I started for myself. If you're a long time follower of specifically my Twitter, which I still haven't replaced that. Fuck, I knew I was forgetting to do something this weekend. I actually left myself a note after last week's stream saying to fix the overlay. I didn't do it. God damn it. Alright, maybe next week. Don't hold your breath, but maybe next week. Maybe next week that'll say blue sky. But yeah, if you follow my Twitter, I made a post, like, I don't know, like 3 years ago that was, let me just pull up the image. Let's see, I'll replace absence of God with this, that's fine. Oh, that's not the picture that I thought that source was gonna go to. I didn't think that it was still on this. Alright. Let me find the meme. Let me find the meme that I made. Just a second. Yeah, this one. This one. Shit. Why is it locked? Let me move this. Yeah, so this was the start of a wonderful, wonderful tradition that I have, where it's just, whenever my birthday comes around, I get a ride from somebody, and I go to a museum in a different city, and then I spend the rest of the day just walking around that city. And just, like, getting my favorite foods, going shopping. There'll probably be a bit less of that this year because I don't get paid as much at this job as I did at some of my previous ones, but don't worry about it. It's okay. I can go without shopping. But see, the issue is at this point, I assume by the time you finish Steins Gate, it will still be Twitter. Unfortunately, you may be correct. We'll see. I'm gonna do my best to not let that happen, but I mean, like I said, I have a shit memory on a good day, so we'll see. But yeah, this year, the thing is, I've gone to pretty much every museum that's, like, anywhere close to me. And I don't want to drive to a big city. Like, I don't want to have to also ask one of, like, either my family members or my friends to come and pick me up because, as much as I can drive and I'm good at driving, the issue is that owning a car is fucking expensive. And I also can't justify it, considering that I already do most of my stuff by foot anyways, and I'm happy doing it that way. So, it's like, I need a ride from someone else. I'm not asking them to drive through the fucking rush hour traffic in Toronto or Ottawa or some shit like that, just to get my dumb ass to a museum that I haven't been to before. So, yeah, I'm kind of debating right now, like, what the hell I'm even gonna do for my birthday, because the thing is, last year I skipped it, because, my old job, I just really didn't like it. I was, like, really, really unhappy at the time, and I just did not even register that it was my birthday until it was, like, July. So, yeah, I'm still not sure what I'm gonna be doing. I know that my family also has a thing planned. So, actually, that is a different thing that I can talk about. So, my mom has said that because, like, a lot of the time with birthdays or Christmas or whatever for me and my brother, she's like, yeah, we get you guys a bunch of crap, and then a lot of it you guys don't end up using. So from now on, we're going to, like, get you guys experiences. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in my area. It's part of the reason why I don't have a passport, because it's like, hey, Canada already has, like, a fuck ton in it, and I haven't seen, like, 99% of it. So I would rather explore more of where I live first, and then worry about, you know, going to other countries and stuff. So I learned recently what our trip is gonna be, what the experience is gonna be. We're going ziplining. It should be noted that I have a phobia of heights. So, that's going to be very interesting. I'm going to face my fears. I'm gonna be so brave about it. And I'm also gonna get to go to a cave, which is gonna be really, really cool. I've never been in a cave before. So, I do have that to look forward to birthday-wise, but that's not until July, so I get to plan my own personal birthday thing. It was a lot easier the last time I did it because Across the Spider-Verse had also just come out. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this museum, I'm gonna have a nice lunch, I'm gonna go see Spider-Man, and then I'm gonna go to a mall and fuck around for, like, a couple hours until they close. And that was great. This year, it's like, okay, I've been to all the museums. What now? I have actually, had, like, a stupid little thought in my brain of, like, so there is a place in Montreal called the Biodome. I went there once when I was 6. And ever since then, on random occasions, like once every couple of months, my brain, out of nowhere, will just go, we need to go to the Montreal Biodome right fucking now! So, I have been legitimately tempted to just, like, reserve a hotel room for myself somewhere in Montreal, figure out how I'm gonna get there, either, like, have a family member drive me, or take the train, or I would have to have a family member drive me in that situation too, but, you know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's like, just go for one night, just so I can go to the Montreal Biodome again. And it's like, that would be great. If this plan wouldn't cost me, like, easily $600. And I'll be real, I can't justify that right now. So, it's back to the drawing board. Maybe someday I'll get to go back to the Biodome. That'd be great. But, yeah, anyways, I am literally just fucking rambling at this point, huh? Let's go to Steins Gate. I don't have the game open anymore, I've just realized. Also, I can stand to, there we go. I do have a Dr. Pepper today, or sorry, a Dr. 7. Here, let me just boot up the game. Oh, it should be mentioned that, because of Steins Gate, so I started using this, like, mental health app called Finch, and, it's been working out well for me. I'm actually surprised at how helpful it is. But the thing is, you have, like, a little bird that you have to name, and I was like, ah, fuck, what do I name my bird? And then I was like, haha, what if I just named it Dr. Pepper? And then I'm like, oh, well, I can use, like, the sort of off-brand Dr. Pepper name that I use when I want to just be sarcastic about it, which is Dr. Peeper. And then I was like, wait a second! That's such a good fucking name for a bird! Also, why isn't the game coming up? I definitely have it open. Come on. Oh, right, it's because it's still set to Disco Elysium. Someday I'll learn. Someday I'll learn to set up my whole stream before I go live. It's even less excusable now because, like, I literally started up the setup half an hour earlier than usual. How did I forget this? Anyways, but yeah, actually, I should show you guys the extra screen. Also, speaking of screens, my frickin' second monitor just turned off and won't come back on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Extras. So if we go to clear list, look at that. Love how the bad ending is just this bastard man. Alright, so yes, so we still have Twin Automata and Recursive Mother Goose left to do. So I think we're gonna go for Recursive Mother Goose first, because that's the one that seems to be closest to the actual, like, ending that we can start on today. Also, we do have all these CGs. Oh, I'm guessing these, like, 2 are... Yeah, okay. It's the ones that are in, like, a sequence. Neat. We do still have quite a few that we haven't gotten yet, but I think... Yeah, there's definitely not that many left. So we are getting close to, like, the true ending here. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back to one of my older saves, I think. Yeah, because what specific chapter is the ending guide saying here? I'm looking for Anatomic Duel. Okay. I'll go... maybe from... I'll go from this point, and then we'll just either skip or mash until we get to the call, because we have to ignore it. Okay, we're loading this data. Oh, right, we did, like, a time leap thing. Okay, I can skip now. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Awesome. So I don't know why that didn't work on any of the other routes. Alright. My freaking other monitor, please stay on! Please! It's important. Okay, I don't think ride messages count. Something I want you to tell me. I feel like I don't get the context with saying, ask my Yuri, or you should ask your dad about that. Oh, I see. Just advice, alright. Not what you expecting too much. What kind of gift do you think a father would enjoy? Father, huh? I think the darkness within him goes very deep. The darkness? Oh, you know, darkness, black, a black handkerchief. Maybe that would be a good idea. Maybe, yeah. When you realize that the Chuny instincts have bubbled up to the surface again. I'll do that, but why black? I think your dad probably likes black. For real. Thank you. Okay, cool. Glad we could help. Imadia's program was stopped. Okay, we can skip again. Alright, and then this is a Kagari section, I think? Yeah. Had a very brief second of back to this guy. You know, I didn't realize how little we saw Luca on the previous couple of routes that we did. Until coming here, and then it's like, his sprite is showing up all the time. Maybe I started a little too far back. I just wasn't sure when the phone call started. Or when it happened, I guess. It is kind of funny watching it on fast forward and just seeing the facial expressions change without any context as to what's going on. A very brief bit of Mei Queen Yan Yan. Alright, that's another Rhine message. That's not what we're looking for, but... Is Kagari okay? She's fine. But I'm so worried. You getting worried will just make things worse. Show her a smile. Yeah. This is harder for Kagari than any of us. We need to cheer her up. You're right. Thanks, Okarin. Thank you. Nice. Alright. And back to skipping! Holy fuck, I really did start way too far back. Okay. What's this? Worried about Kagari. We'll do what we can. Bothers me that I can't do anything. It's not much different for me. Don't say that. You're much stronger than me. I'm not that great. You always think I'm a lot better than I really am. But thank you. I'll do the best I can to live up to the person you think I am. Thank you. You really are strong. Oh, that was a cute little moment. Random Yuki jump scare. Okay, this is after the lab gets broken into. It's funny because I think in skipping, we've probably gone through like a full stream's worth of story. If not multiple, considering how much I tend to ramble. Okay, just as I spoke, a Rhine message arrived. Let me just make sure that it says specifically phone call. Okay, it does say just ignore the phone call. And every single one of these before has been actual calls. It's from Luca. Alright. Kagari woke up. She's calmed down. Okay, okay. So that wasn't something I had to worry about. Alright, cool. My god, I really did start this far back. Also, I will say that scene of Kagari beating up all the guys. Oh wait, no. Right, because she was Suzuha in disguise. Never mind, never mind. I misremembered. I was about to say, like, oh, it makes sense that Kagari could do that because we've seen from the last route that she was basically brainwashed into being a super soldier, so... And that was happening before she came to the past. Sound of the phone ringing! Okay, here we go. Nope. Not picking it up. As all these different sounds filled the air. The last thing she said was... Oh. Whether those were Kurisu's words or Kagari's. Her words were cut off by the sound of the door and the sound of screaming. I reject. I hesitated. Not only did I hesitate to answer it, but I almost tried to tap the button to reject the call! He knew! He knew! But then Kagari's fingers cut mine off. And then her fingers, or maybe Kurisu's, tapped the button to answer the call. And then the phone. And then put the phone up against her head. And then, oh wait. And then the phone up against her head stopped ringing. Oh shit! Wait, so did she time leap? Alright, well, it's time for the Kagari ending. The dizziness stopped. The room was pitch black. There was no one there but me. Even Suzuha, who should have been living here, was gone. Daru, Mayuri, Ferris, Luca, and Kagari too. Everyone was gone. I was so tired and sleepy. I clutched my smartphone and laid down on the sofa. I closed my eyes, too tired to think.
Okari. Okari. ねえ、起きて。もうお昼だよ。
Damn, you really slept in. Admittedly, today, I also, well, I didn't really sleep in, but it's more like, I kind of realized recently that I've gotten in the habit of getting out of bed as soon as I wake up, which is the healthy habit. It's the thing you're supposed to do. But this morning I just thought, nah, I'm just gonna lay here for a bit. So, yeah, I just laid in bed until almost 11. I think I woke up at like 8:30. It's nice. It's like, it sucks that the bed is the comfiest place in my apartment, because I know that so many things online are like, yeah, if you don't use your bed for only sleeping, it'll make your insomnia worse. Because it's like, on one hand, yeah, I don't want to make that worse. I want to be able to sleep, especially right to my alarm and stop waking up at 5 in the morning. Actually, I did have a hell of a day last week, because Tuesday night, I was like, okay, I gotta get up early because I need to take care of some maintenance on the company van. I need to go bring it to a shop. And they want me to do that, like, before our business hours. So, I was like, okay, well, I gotta wake up at 6:30, so that this way I can be there for, like, 7:15 and get the van to the shop, because thankfully it's not too far away, for, like, 20 after. I ended up waking up at 5 a.m. that day. Could not fall back to sleep. Started work at like 7:15. Ended work at like 5:15. And that's not something that I'm unused to. Like, a lot of my old jobs had me working unpaid overtime. And at least in this case, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid for that time. So that's awesome. The thing is, my old jobs weren't largely on my feet. So... yeah, I felt that 10-hour shift. But, that's all the more reason why it's like I haven't really been doing much on weekends lately, outside of streaming, because... and it's also why I've had to stop streaming on Wednesdays, because... fuck. Work is just, everything happens so much right now. And probably will be until, like, November. I think it's going to calm down around July-ish. And even then, it's not going to go back to how it was during the winter until the fucking winter hits again. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I started just rambling about that. Sorry. Someone was shaking me softly.
Okari, 寝すぎだよ。もうすぐ、かがりさんも来ちゃうのに。
Kagari. The second I heard her name, my mind snapped back into alertness. I forced myself to sit up. I was sitting on the sofa in the lab. Outside the window, it was bright.
やっと起きたね。
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
てってる。
Oh.
Mayuri nodded, satisfied, and left my side. I took a look around the room. The table was covered in notebooks and textbooks that seemed to belong to Mayuri. She was probably doing her homework. I could see Daru's huge back hunched over the PC. The monitor was displaying a cute anime character. He seemed to be playing another H game. From the look of things, the only people in the lab were him, me, and Mayuri.
Oh.
The time on my phone said it was just before noon, which meant I'd been asleep for more than 10 hours. Oh no, I must have passed out before I checked to see if the world line had changed. I listened for a moment and could hear the usual buzzing of Akihabara outside. There was no sign of Stratfor. That alone made me feel relieved.
おかり、なんだかうなされてるみたいだったよ。大丈夫？
Oh.
麦茶飲む？寝起きでドクペはやめた方がいいよね。
そうだな。麦茶がいい。
Heck yeah.
わかった。
Tea is good. Mayuri went to the kitchen.
あー、コップ全部使っちゃってる。今洗うからちょっと待っててね。
大丈夫。急がなくていい。
あ、まゆしまゆし、僕もお茶ちょうだい。
はーい。
This all felt like an old memory. It seemed like ages ago when I'd last had a normal conversation like this. But this was no time to be sentimental. I wonder if this... I mean, okay. They did bring up Kagari, so it's like... Obviously everything isn't back to normal. But wouldn't it be nuts if Okabe went through all of that and then ended up in a timeline where everybody's like, what? What are you talking about? Who's Suzuha? Who's Kagari? Who's Kurisu? Like, everything is just reset right back to how it was at, like, the very beginning of Steins Gate. Like, that would be a total mindfuck for Okabe at this point. While Mayuri was washing the cup, I needed to go get things straight. I needed to get things straight in my head.
変動したんだよな。
In the end, I'd hesitated at the last second. If Kagari, or perhaps Kurisu, hadn't stopped me, maybe the world line wouldn't have changed, and Stratfor would have caught us. But change it did. I could still feel the lingering sensations from my reading Steiner, so I was sure of it. From the look of things, Mayuri and Daru were the same as ever, and the immediate danger was gone. The reason for the change was probably the deletion of Kurisu's memories from within Kagari. Those memories must have included something that dealt with the time machine, which meant that their existence was important enough to control whether or not the world line changed. And I deleted them.
いや、逆の可能性もあるな。
Maybe even if Maho's program hadn't worked right, and the memory rewrite failed, the world line would have changed anyway? Unlike last summer, it wasn't clear what was making the world line change now. The first thing I needed to do was see if Kagari's memories had been successfully rewritten.
お待たせ。
At the same time as I decided on my plan, Mayuri brought me a cup on a tray.
今麦茶出すからね。
She put the tray on the table and headed for the fridge. I looked and saw that there were 4 cups on the tray. 4? I mean, she did say Kagari was coming.
どうしてコップが4つあるんだ。
だってかがりさんも飲みたいだろうから。
That's right, Kagari.
かがりが来てるのか。
さっき LINE で連絡が来たよ。もうすぐ作って。
そうか。何の用で来るんだ。
オカリンが呼んだんじゃん。昨日 LINE で連絡よこしたっしょ。今日の正午にここに集合って。
Huh. Alright then.
第3回かがりたんの記憶を取り戻す方法を考える会。メンバーはオカリンと僕とかがりたん。まあ今のところ成果ゼロだけども。
俺が呼んだ。
マユシンも参加できたらよかったんだけど、今日はバイトがあるので。
I could hear Mayuri apologizing from the kitchen.
かがりさんの記憶、早く戻るといいね。
I'll be honest, Mayuri, I think those memories are doing more harm than good. I mean, we just finished seeing what a Kagari with all her memories looks like. From, like, the last couple of endings that we got, and, yeah, it's not good.
最近のこと以外何も覚えてないなんて寂しいもんね。
She didn't remember anything except the recent past? What was going on? Kagari should have still had her memories from when she was a kid. Maybe trying to rewrite her memories had actually deleted them?
はい、おかわり。お茶どうぞ。
Mayuri handed me a cup filled with barley tea.
ああ、ありがとう。
I took the cup, trying my best to hide my internal shock.
タルくんのはここに置いておくね。
どうも。
I gulped down the tea, stood up from the sofa, and went over to Daru.
誰？
何？
I lowered my voice so that Mayuri couldn't hear.
かがりの記憶の上書きは成功したのか、それとも失敗したのか。
Daru looked at me for a moment, confused.
何の話？
Yeah, that was about the reaction I expected, to be honest. But in that case, so what the hell changed?
え？
That wasn't the answer I expected.
かがりの脳内に残っているクリスの記憶を消すのは成功したのかと聞いたんだ。
何その SF 設定怖い。オカリンついに中二病患者に復帰したん？
I definitely heard the word Chunibyo in there, which makes this line funnier to me. I froze for a moment. Daru didn't look like he was lying. He had no reason to lie anyway. Did that mean that in this world line, Kurisu's memories had never been implanted in Kagari?
ちょっと来い。
ねえ、僕エロゲしてるんだけど。
It can wait, man!
いいから。
I dragged Daru outside the room, leaving a very confused Mayuri behind.
寒。オカリン、僕を殺す気か。
いいから、ちょっとだけ付き合ってくれ。確認したいことがあるんだ。
He must have sensed that I was serious because after a moment's surprise, he nodded silently.
今の係は記憶がないのか？
そうだよ。つか何度も言ってるっしょそれ。
タイムマシンで過去に来る前の未来の記憶も含めて。
ないってば。覚えてるのはここ最近のことだけ。未来のことを覚えてたら、せめてマユシにはかがりたんの正体を教えてるし。
Okay. Yeah, because Suzuha would still remember Kagari. And that she had ran away from the time machine. So it makes sense that they would still know that she's from the future.
それはつまりマユリはカガリが自分の娘だということを知らないんだな。
うん。それは秘密にしとくってオカリンが決めたんで。
ということはカガリが未来から来たことを知っているのは
僕とオカリンと鈴葉。
Makes sense.
それだけ。
それだけ。オカリンが他の誰かに話してなければ。
そうか。すまなかった。寝ぼけてたみたいだ。夢の内容が現実とごっちゃになったらしい。
気にすんなって。僕なんか24時間夢の中で生きてますから。キリッ。
Thanks, Daru.
それにさ、僕としてはそういうテンション高いオカリンが久々だったからなんか懐かしく感じたお。
Instead of answering, I took a second to think. It seemed like there were three main differences with Kagari in this world line. One, she didn't have Kurisu's memories, which is an upgrade. That is a step up from where she was before. Two, she didn't have her own memories of her childhood, which is bad. But also considering that some of the stuff we learned about her childhood, specifically the brainwashing thing, that might also be an upgrade, all things considered. And then three, only me, Daru, and Suzuha knew who Kagari really was. In other words, Mayuri didn't know that Kagari was her daughter. Which is also a bit of a downgrade, but overall, I think things are pretty okay.
戻ったのか。
This Kagari seemed closer to the one I'd met before I jumped to the Alpha World line. Oh, that's true! Yeah, it's been a while since I went down this route, but yeah. Yeah, because whenever we first met Kagari, she didn't have any memories of her past. Everything seemed mostly the same as before, including the fact that we were trying to get back her memories. Did this mean that a second world line change had sent me back to the old one? If I had the divergence meter, I could tell, but... I was starting to think like I used to. I chuckled at myself. I should stop. I decided to have nothing to do with the time machine or the time leap machine. All I could do was help Kagari get her memories back.
オカリン、なんかさっきから変じゃね？
いや、大丈夫だ。気にするな。
ならいいけど。つっか、いい加減寒いから戻っていい？
ああ、俺も凍えてきた。
No, we're gonna both stay outside and freeze. Daru and I raced back inside the room. When I got back, I could just barely make out Mayuri's voice.
探し物ひとつ星の笑う声風に瞬いて手を伸ばせばつかめるよ
Excellent performance! Mayuri hadn't noticed us come back in. She was putting her textbooks into her bag, and it sounded like she was also singing a song.
それ、誰の歌だ？
It was only then that she realized I was there.
おかえり寒いのにお外で何話してたの
ちょっと今期のアニメについての意見交換をしてたのだぜ。
すごいね
なあ、今の歌って
Awesome save.
あ、もしかして口ずさんじゃってた？探し物ひとつ、星の笑う声。
Hey, wait a second. In this route earlier on, wasn't there a bit where, like, either Suzuha or Kagari was humming a song and was like, yeah, sorry, I don't remember where I last heard it. Is this the song? Is she gonna sing it around Kagari and then all of her memories are gonna just brain blast back into her?
風に瞬いて手を伸ばせばつかめるよ。
I heard something fall near the front entrance. At some point, Kagari had opened the front door. Oh, that's exactly what's gonna happen, isn't it? I am the smartest bitch on planet Earth. I need to stop clapping near the microphone. At some point, Kagari had opened the front door. She was standing there with a shocked expression, her mouth opening and closing. Her bag was lying at her feet. She must have dropped it in surprise when she came in. But did anything that surprising happen?
あ、かがりさん。てってるー。
Da-da-doo!
そうその歌、私知ってる。
There we go! Let the brain blasting commence!
そうなのか？
その歌は
Kagari was trying to point at Mayuri, but shaking too much to do it.
その歌。
Uh-oh! She fell to the floor like a puppet with its strings cut.
かがりさん。
かがり。
Uh-oh. Oh? Kagari's perspective?
探し物ひとつ、星の笑う声。風に瞬いて手を伸ばせばつかめるよ。ママ。なーに、かがりちゃん。それ何の歌？えへへ。これはね、とっても大事な歌なの。どんな歌なの？泣いている人を笑わせたいっていう歌かな。泣いてる人を笑わせるのが大事なの？それも大事だけど、そうじゃなくてね。この歌はママとかがりちゃんをつなげてくれた歌なの。
Oh?
この歌があったから出会えたんだよ。その歌がなかったらママはかがりのママになってくれなかったかもしれないの？そんなの嫌。ああ、ごめん。そういう意味で言ったんじゃないの。何があってもママはかがりちゃんのママだよ。でもそうだな、かがりちゃんにはこの歌覚えておいてほしいな。いつかかがりちゃんが大事な人と出会った時のために。その人が泣いている時笑わせられるように。
Oh my god, this is Mayuri in the future, remembering what's happening in the present day in the story. She's making sure that the time loop stays stable.
一緒に歌おう。探し物ひとつ、星の笑う声。探し物ひとつ。
That's so adorable!
星の笑う声。上手上手。次はね。ママどこに行ったの？ねえママ。
Back to this guy. I wet a towel at the sink and put it on Kaguri's forehead as she lay on the sofa. She looked like she was having a nightmare. Her breathing was shallow and pained. She still wasn't awake.
大丈夫かな？
どうだろうな。
She just collapsed out of nowhere after all. What time is it anyways? Okay, well I guess I can't see on the phone. Alright. It had been about 5 minutes ago. Okay, so it hasn't been that long. From this view of the lab, I thought that it was now, like, nighttime. It had been about 5 minutes ago when she'd arrived and then immediately collapsed. Daru and Mayuri and I had somehow managed to get her over to the sofa.
つうかさ、濡れたタオルを額に置くのって高熱で倒れた人の場合の処置じゃね？かがりったん熱はないっぽいじゃん。これ気絶した人にも効果あるん？
仕方ないだろう。他に何をしていいのかわからないんだから。
Neither Daru nor I had the knowledge required to handle this situation. But since Kagari had no insurance card and no residency certificates, taking her to a hospital felt like a bad idea. Oh yeah, because she doesn't have proper paperwork. Because she's a fucking time traveler. Huh. All we could do was wait for her to wake up.
Mama.
I heard her whisper something.
今ママって聞こえた。
We both put our ears closer to her mouth.
いや、行かないで。ママ。
She suddenly jerked upwards. The two of us just barely managed to avoid getting a headbutt.
危なかった。あ、いや違う。かがりたんとのラッキースケベチャンスを逃したんだお。
For the best! What the fuck, man?
バカだ、バカ
I ignored Daru, who was bashing his head against the floor in frustration. Buddy! Be a little bit more normal, please! And spoke to Kagari.
大丈夫か？
岡部さん。
Kagari seemed confused, and it took her a moment to realize that she was lying on the sofa.
私寝てたんですか？どうして？
覚えてないのか？
ラボに来た途端、マユシを見て気絶したんだよ。
まゆりさんを？
I realized that her tone had changed since the world line switch. More precisely, it had switched. It was back to how it was when I first met her.
君はマユリが口ずさんでいた歌を知っているようだった。
歌？そうです。あの歌、私あの歌知ってるんです。どこかで聞いたことがあって、ずっと昔、子供の頃に。
おお、来たこれ。これマジで記憶回復フラグなんじゃね？
まゆりさんはどこに？
I mean, she's probably at work, right?
あの歌のこと教えてもらわなきゃ。
Her eyes darted around the lab.
マユリはメイクインのバイトがあって君と入れ違いに出て行ったよ。
Damn.
かがりたんのことすごく心配してた。
本当にごめんね。今日はランチタイムだけバイトを頼まれてて、どうしても行かなくちゃダメなの。おかりん、ダルくん、かがりさんのことお願いね。そうですか。
他に何か思い出したことはないか？どんなことでもいいんだ。
他に。
She put her hand up to her forehead so she could think.
う
But then she shook it softly.
ダメです。他には何も。歌のことも知っているのは確かなんですけど、誰から聞いたのかとかそういうのは全然。
かがりたんさ、
Hmm.
今気絶してる間夢見てなかった？
夢ですか？
うん、うなされてたからさ、ママって呼んでた。
ああ、起きた時も叫んでたな。
私そんなことを。
Hmm. I mean, not remembering a dream when you wake up is pretty normal, but the fact that she seems to have also forgotten... Like, it seems like she did make the connection that Mayuri used to be her mom, and then immediately passed out, and now that she's awake, she doesn't remember that anymore. So I almost wonder if this amnesia of hers is like... I don't know, I don't know if it's an extension of the brainwashing, or if it's like almost counter brainwashing her. It feels like there's almost like a block in her brain keeping her from remembering.
歌がトリガーになって何か記憶が蘇ったりしてないかなって。
ダメ、思い出せません。確かに何かの夢を見ていた気がします。とても大切な夢だったような気がするんですけど。
そうか。
すみません、ご迷惑をおかけして。
But both Daru and I knew this was a big step forward. She knew the song that Mayuri was singing. And she said that she'd learned it when she was a child. That would have been in the future, before she'd gotten in the time machine. Which meant that there could only be one answer. It was the future Mayuri who taught Kagari that song.
おかりん、ひとまずマユシに聞いてみるのがいいんじゃね？
そうだな。バイトはランチタイムだけって言ってたからタイミングを見計らってメイクインに行ってみるか。
私も行きます。
Kagari quickly stood up off the sofa.
落ち着いて。今すぐ行くわけじゃない。もう少し休んでいた方がいい。
あ、そうですね。すみません。
And then her stomach rumbled.
腹が減ったのか。カップ麺ならあるが。
あとはマユシが買いだめした唐揚げとかバナナとか。
バナナいただきます。
She seemed embarrassed. I mean, yeah, waking up after passing out does that to ya.
お帰りになさいませ、ご主人様。
Time for cat girls! When we opened the door to May Queen Non-Squared, the usual cat-eared maid was there to welcome us.
あ、おかりん。かがりにゃんもお帰りなさい。こんにちは、フェイリスさん。おにゅー。おかりん、最近来るたびに違う女の子を連れてくるにゃ。奥義を極め、リア充大学生のオーラをまとう能力を身につけたという話は本当だったのかにゃ。
I don't know how much aura Okabe has just in general.
そんなんじゃない。マユリを迎えに来たんだ。そろそろバイト上がりの時間なんじゃないかと思ってな。
マユシーは今日キッチン担当だったのにゃ。
キッチン？
今日はランチタイムのメイドちゃんたちの人数が足りなくて。
Oh no. Oh no, so you made Mayuri do it? Ferris! Ferris, you know she can't cook, right?
この時間だけマユシーにもお手伝いしてもらったのにゃ。
なあ、マユリに料理をやらせて大丈夫なのか？
Chat at me when I start doing some bullshit on stream.
本人はやりたがってたけど、お皿洗いに集中してもらったにゃ。
Okay, okay. Awesome. Crisis averted. That was Ferris for you. She knew exactly who belonged where.
もう上がってもらったから、今は着替えてる頃にゃ。
じゃあ外で待ってるって伝えておいてくれ。
That is very convenient, so that this way they don't have to draw sprites of her in her cat girl uniform.
了解にゃ。
We waited down below for a bit before Mayuri came out.
おかり、かがりさん。ごめんね、迎えに来てくれて。かがりさん、大丈夫？
As soon as she got out of the store, Mayuri ran out and gave Kagari a big hug. She had a worried look on her face as she peered into Kagari's eyes.
ありがとう、まゆりさん。もう大丈夫。よかった。バターンって倒れちゃったからびっくりしちゃったよ。心配かけてごめんなさい。でもどうして2人して迎えに来てくれたの？
お前に聞きたいことがあってな。さっき口ずさんでいた歌についてな。
I repeated the conversation I had at the lab for Mayuri.
というわけで、その歌をどこで覚えたのか教えてほしいんだ。
マユシーはすずさんが歌っていたのを聞いたの。
Oh god damn it, and Suzuha can't remember where she heard it. It's just a never-ending feedback loop at this point.
鈴葉が
マユシーはバイトが終わった後よくラボでお勉強してるんだ。雨の日はね、すずさんが部屋の中でトレーニングしてるのです。腹筋とか腕立て伏せとか。それでね、トレーニングが終わるとシャワーを浴びるんだけど、出た後は髪を乾かしながら窓の外の雨を見てるの。ずっと。その時にね、いつもこの歌を小さく口ずさんでるんだよ。なんていう歌なのかはすずさんに聞いたことはないんだけどね。
なるほど。
So maybe it was a song from the future then. Like a song that was popular with people in the 2030s, maybe? Maybe Kagari learned it at the same time that Suzuha did.
それなら次は鈴葉に当たってみるか。
Yep, that sounds like a good course of action.
そうですね。
ここまで来たんだ。最後まで付き合うよ。
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
My relationship with Suzuha was probably still pretty strained in this world, but she would probably help me get Kagari's memories back.
一度戻ろう。鈴葉はブラウン管工房で店番してると思う。
マユシーも一緒に行く。マユリさん、いいんですか
Mayuri gave a cheerful answer and then started to fidget as if she was embarrassed for some reason.
ね、うまく言えないんだけど、かがりさんを見てるとなんかしなきゃっていう気持ちになるのです。守ってあげたいとか助けてあげたいとか、そういう気持ちなんでなのかな。不思議だね。えへへ。
I mean, with the whole encephalitis thing from the last couple of timelines, makes me wonder if maybe Mayuri has a little bit of reading Steiner too. Except she just kind of gets like vague feelings about what's gonna happen in the future. Maybe it was the bond between mother and daughter. It was going to be a long time before Mayuri became Kagari's mother, though.
それにね、思い出がないのって寂しいと思うから。まゆりさん、ありがとうございます。みんなで頑張ろう。
And so the three of us went back to the lab. Wait, where the hell is Daru? Didn't Daru come with us?
さんの自転車がないね。
おかしいな。出る時にはあったんだが。
Just as we went to peek inside the Bronze Tube workshop, Tenyoji came out.
お、なんか用か。
鈴葉はいませんか。さっきまで店番してたと思うんですが。
ああ、あいつなら今日は上がったぜ。午後から用事があるとかでな。いつになく真面目な顔して出かけていった。
Huh.
何の用事かは聞いてますか。
いや、バイトのプライベートまで詮索するつもりはねえからな。
Understandable, understandable. That was all he said before he headed back into the shop.
すずさん、どこ行ったのかな。
Yeah, me too.
用事って何でしょうね。
Would it be something with the time machine? Was this around the time in the last endings where she was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to the future soon because I'm not gonna have enough fuel to go back otherwise? I hoped it was nothing serious. I'll try Rhyme. Okay, yeah, we'll try it. I think I've got a hint for Kaguri's memories. There are some things I want to ask you. Where are you? Go Curry.
Go curry.
Oh, is today the day of Daru and Yuki's date? Was she eating a late lunch? Was that important?
とにかく行ってみよう。
Oh my god, are all three of them going to crash Daru and Suzuha? Not Suzuha. Daru and Yuki's date? Oh. She was just going to be part of an eating contest?
あの華奢な体のどこにあんな大量のカレーが入るんだよ。
カレーの女神だ。カレーの女神が権限された。名前に恥じない殺戮者っぷりだな。あの食いっぷりを見たら本職の殺し屋って言われても信じるね。
You don't know how right you are, man.
優勝した静かなる殺戮者さん、おめでとうございます。
すごいな。
すごいですね。
Was this what Suzuha had been up to? The store had said she'd won 3 times in a row, and the customers seemed to know her. Did that mean she was a regular? Suzuha made her way over to us through the cheering crowds.
あれ？3人ともどうしたの？ごめん。さっきは大会の直前だったからそっけない返事しちゃった。すごいね。
I see you've got your priorities in order.
カレーをペロリと食べちゃうなんて。食べられるものは食べられる時に食べる。戦場で生き残るために必要な素養だよ。戦場？私何か聞き間違えたんでしょうか。
気にしない方がいいと思う。
おじさん、それでかがりの記憶の手がかりって？
We're out here Steinsing our gate. We sure are 100th Assassin. Welcome to the stream. So far, this timeline's been really interesting. So, we're back to the timeline that I was in whenever I got my very first ending, the one that I got just by playing through the game naturally. And basically, by not picking up the phone in one part of, like, the climax of that route, you get a completely different route where Kaguri doesn't have any memories whatsoever. And also Suzuha just won an eating competition, so things are pretty okay, all things considered. I explained what had happened so far.
私の歌聞こえてたの？もう言ってよ、マヨネーさん。すずさんが歌ってるのすごく可愛かったから教えたらやめちゃうかなと思って黙ってました。
Moral of the story, introverts were right about answering the phone. They sure fucking were. To be fair, pretty much every time that I've answered the phone and it's not a call from someone I recognize, I have like 95% of the time regretted it because it's been a fucking scam call. Pretty much the only time that a random phone call has ever gotten me anywhere was back when I was unemployed. It helped me get a job, that's it. it's like, now that I actually have a job, and it's a job that I'm gonna be keeping for a long time, it's like, I just don't pick up the phone if I don't recognize the number. It's better that way.
意地悪だな。
それでその歌はどこで知ったんだ？
母さんだよ。母さんが歌ってたんだ。
Fuck! The chain continues! So now we have to ask Yuki where she heard that song.
ユキさんが？
ユキさん？鈴葉さんのお母様もユキさんとおっしゃるんですか？
Oops!
いや、そうじゃない。ユキさんのあだ名が母さんなんだ。
My brother in Christ, what are you... What kind of whack social maneuver are you doing here?
そういうこと。ついあだ名で呼んじゃうんだよ。そうなんですか。それはどういう由来で。ごめん、その話はまた今度。
Some other time when we think up a better story for it. When we think up a better lie.
おじさん、ちょっとこっち来て。
Suzuha and I stood a little away from Kagari.
さ、よく考えたら母さんのことは別に隠さなくてもいいんじゃない？
記憶が戻らない可能性もあるんだから言わない方が賢明だと思うけどな。
Side note, I don't know what Final French to see is. I don't know shit about Final Fantasy. I don't know if you're referring to like one specific game, or is there Claire Obscure? I don't know what that is either. I'm assuming it's one of the games, and I'm assuming it's pretty good.
そうか。私としてはそれは避けたい結末ではあるけど。
それでその歌をユキさんから教わったっていうのは未来での話だよな。
もちろん。母さんが料理を作りながらよく歌ってて自然に覚えたんだ。
I was getting confused. So what was going on here?
子供の頃のかがりは鈴葉かユキさんからその歌を教わったということか。
それはないよ。かがりがまゆ姉さんの養子になったのは母さんが死んだ後だから。私も人前で歌ったことなんてないんだ。かがりに聞かせたこともない。あの頃は生きるのに精一杯でそんな心の余裕なんてなかったからね。無意識に口ずさんでるなんて自分でも知らなかったくらいなんだ。かがりがこの歌を子供の頃に覚えたんだったらそれはまゆ姉さんから教わったんだと思うよ。
Who learned it from Suzuha, who learned it from Yuki, who went back in time, or no. So Yuki knew it because she probably heard Mayuri sing it, and because Yuki knew it, she taught it to Suzuha, who then taught it to past Mayuri so she could become future Mayuri and teach Yuki the song. My god!
そうか。
Which meant Kagari learned it from Mayuri, who learned it from hearing Suzuha hum it, and Suzuha learned it from Yuki, her mother.
なら次はユキさんに当たってみるか。なんだか伝言ゲームめいてきた。
It sure fucking is! But even so, if we kept at it, we were sure to learn the truth eventually.
私はタイムマシンの整備もあるし付き合いそうにないな。かがりのことよろしくね。
ああ。というわけだ。
I explained to Mayuri and Kagari what I'd learned from Suzuha. Of course, since I couldn't tell them about the future, I skirted around that part of the story.
そっか。じゃあ次はユキさんだね。
マユリ、連絡取ってもらっていいか？
わかった。
Mayuri took out her phone to call Yuki.
出ないな。LINE 送っておくね。
Mayuri gave up on calling her and sent her a message on Rhine.
これで OK だよ。なんだか大ごとになってしまってすみません。気にしなくていいよ。
I mean, you also don't know about all the time travel shenanigans. You couldn't have fucking known that it would turn out like this.
それにね、マユシーはかがりさんとこうしてお散歩できて楽しいのです。ありがとう。私もまゆりさんとお話ししながら歩いているとなんだかゆったりした気分になれるんです。ああ、それまゆしも一緒だ。私たち気が合うのかもしれませんね。嬉しいな。
If Dada was here, he'd yell, Yuri for the win! He fucking would. Come to think of it, Daru had said he'd had something to do today, and I hadn't seen him since we'd left the lab. It was probably something I didn't want to know about. It would be more based. I mean, I guess... Okay, anytime you have to say they're not technically related, that's not great. It's what I was trying to say is it's not as bad as him perving on making pervy comments to Suzuha every once in a while. It's still a little weird. It's like, yes, Yuri for the win, but when they're not mother and daughter, please. Oh? I was about to click Okabe's phone. How do I have muscle memory for answering Okabe's Rhine messages? Punish Daru by rotating him. Yeah, just spin him really fast.
実は今橋田さんとデート中だって。
Yo!
ああ、そうなんだ。あの二人
Holy shit, they actually did it! This is the good timeline!
デートするほど進展していたとは聞いてないぞ。
Planning anything for a birthday stream? No, admittedly. I'll be honest. I didn't even realize how close it was until my birthday, until like right now. I might try and piece something together, but the issue is that that weekend I'm probably gonna be doing something alone for my birthday. The next weekend I'm doing stuff with family for my birthday, and work is really fucking busy, so I'm not even sure when I would be able to plan anything. Yeah, at the moment it's a no, unless I can think of something cool. Unless I can think of something like a cool little collab or something. I'll have to see what I can do. But yeah, I would say don't get your hopes up super high, because it would be planning things a little bit last minute, I'm realizing. Was that what Daru was up to? The plan is to plan for a plan. Basically, it's because, like, I have some ideas that I could pull out of my ass for, like, a birthday stream idea. The issue is that most of them are collabs, and most of them are, like, sizable collabs. So I would need to, I would basically need to go and talk to a whole lot of people. Steins Gate stream with a party hat and Dr. 7. You know, that might just be what I do. I do have another idea for a stream that wouldn't require as much planning. The issue is it would 100% be a marathon stream. Rotate the calendar to have the birthday on a more convenient date. God, I wish. It's like, I was about to say, like, I wish I could do this in, like, July instead, but then I'm like, alright, I'm doing a different thing for birthdays. Everything happens so much. Fuck, I think my hiccups are back. No! I had a whole thing before, like, at the start of the stream where I'm like, yeah, I had the worst hiccups, but I fixed it. I'm good now. I'm fine. No problem can't be solved by rotating it. It's true. This is what I've learned by watching repo videos. But yeah, I'll see if I can pull something together. But like I said, don't get your hopes up. Odds are, like, if I stream that weekend, it's gonna be just a normal stream. Odds are. Nice.
夕方か。時間が少し空くな。
So y'all can, like, hang out and do slice of life stuff and avoid the existential horrors that are almost certainly awaiting us.
でもデートの邪魔しちゃ悪いよ。そうですね。待ちましょう。
If Kagari wanted to wait, then it wasn't my place to disagree. I mean, yeah, and also you can't interfere with their date because otherwise Suzuha might not exist someday. We decided to have Mayuri answer Yuki's message and then go back to the lab. On the way. Huh?
お、どうした？
おかり、あそこ。
Hmm? Mayuri suddenly lowered her voice and quietly pointed towards a nearby cafeteria with outdoor seating. Oh, did we find them? Oh, we found them! Two people we recognized were sitting at one of the tables. It was Yuki and Daru. Simply be very disappointed after the game so you can honestly say you streamed that weekend. Man. The two of them were eating a sandwich together.
これはあれだな。とりあえずいつものダルに倣ってこう言っておこう。
What fucking words are about to leave your mouth?
ダル、リア充爆発しろ。
Awesome!
どうしましょう。
You fucking leave them to their devices!
邪魔しちゃ悪いよね。
Exactly!
とはいえ、これはなかなか見られない光景じゃないか。
So we're just gonna ogle their date for free entertainment?
それは確かに。
There is no joke. Explode. Mayuri's eyes were filled with passion. She seemed to be truly cheering them on.
二人が食べ終わるのを待って偶然合流した感じにするか。
あゆしは賛成です。
Yep, exactly.
いいと思います。
Kagari and Mayuri were getting excited. Was this really that exciting? I mean, they're happy for them. We sat at a nearby table in the corner of the terrace so as to not to let them see us. We covered our faces as best we could and quietly observed the two of them, you know, like a group of stalkers. They seemed to be enjoying their lunch. I could just barely make out what they were saying.
ほらほら、橋田さん、口の端にトマトついてますよ。拭いてあげますね。
いやいやいや、大丈夫大丈夫。自分で拭くから。
でもいつもハンカチ持ってないじゃないですか。ほら、こっちに顔向けてください。
僕の体液がついたらアマネチのハンカチが汚れててしま。
汚いなんて思ったりしませんよ。はい、拭きますよ。
I love how these just look like stills from the anime that they just cropped out and put in the CG. All I can think of is that, what is that one fucking, like, it's like a SpongeBob comic. It's the one where they're like, if he does a hard pivot into talking about cardboard manufacturing, he could still save this. Let me see if I can find this. I found it! Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I promise it's good. Oh, fuck. Shit, wait, what am I replacing? Let's see. You know what? I'm just gonna add a new source. Because I don't have enough of those already. Create new. Sponge. This fucking comic. When meeting new people, remember to keep it light and casual. Use our conversation starters if you get in trouble. Light and casual, got it! I'm going into labor! He's pulling the pregnancy card this early? If he U-turns the topic back to cardboard manufacturing, we might clutch this. This scene is just this comic! Okabe is like, he's pulling the my bodily fluids or biohazards card this early? If the Bratz game has taught us anything, if your friends are dating, you must stalk them, photograph them, and then post it in a magazine. Okay, funnily enough, I think I know exactly the Bratz game that you're talking about because it was one of the 3 that I used to routinely rent from the local video rental shop back when I was a kid. And I almost beat it. The issue is there was like this bullshit minigame at the very end where like you had to race against someone who was on foot and you're on roller skates, and for some fucking reason the roller skates were always slower than that chick was just in fucking high heels, so I lost every time. I'm assuming this is the same game because I remember it having something to do with a fucking magazine, but yeah, man, I have not thought about Bratz in so long. I think the only time that I think about it now is because you have to hold a button. Wait! Are you serious? I didn't know that! No wonder I didn't beat that game! I didn't know how it worked! Well, fuck. That sure was a mystery in my past that I didn't need an answer for. But goddamn if it didn't get answered today. Thank you, Hungry Assassin. You have done so much psychic damage to me, you have no idea. Neither did our group when we streamed last week. Oh, damn! I see, so this was like a recent thing for you guys. Yeah, because I haven't touched that game since I was like 8 or 9, I think. Causing mental harm is part of the job. Well, your performance is excellent, thank you, sir.
仲良さそうで羨ましいな。お似合いですね、あのお二人。
そうか。
そうですよ。
I don't get it. I'll be honest, I don't either.
幸せそうだな。
Mayuri was watching them with stars in her eyes. And then...
まゆりさん、お腹空いてるんですか？バイトが終わってからお昼食べようと思ってたから。
Game was so bad, it's peak? Hell yeah. So it's exactly how I remember it being. God, that game was janky as shit, and for some reason, when I was a kid, I'm like, this is it. This is the video game I'm gonna beat. And then after renting it from the video rental store twice, having almost beaten the game both times, and then not being able to do it, I was like, this is bullshit. This game is bullshit. Fuck this thing. Here's 95 reasons why. And then I just borrowed Sims 2 for PS2. Like, forever from then on.
なんだ、そうだったのか。じゃあ何か注文するか。ここは俺がおごる。
いいの？
手伝ってくれているお礼だ。
やったー。オカリン太っ腹だね。じゃあね、じゃあね。
Mayuri's eyes shone as she looked at the menu.
クレープ食べたいな。いちごとクリームがいっぱい入ってるの。
It's a very good day to be Mayuri. Like, she got paid, she's hanging out with her friends, she's getting a free lunch, she's learned that 2 of her friends are dating and they're happy together. Everything is coming up Mayuri today. Evidently, the place was offering a special on crepes today.
わかった。
And crepes are
かな
good.
りは
I haven't had a crepe in ages now that I think about it. The best one I ever had was when me and an IRL friend, we went to this small town to go and look for crafting supplies. And there was a little place there that did crepes. And they did one that I think was like spinach and chicken. It was like a savory crepe. Holy shit, that thing was good. I've never been back because I think where I live now, that small town is like a 4-hour drive away. So, not exactly easy for me to get those crepes, like, ever again in my entire life. So a no ice cream crepe, yeah. I know that in some of the malls around here, there's like a chain that does like crepes. And every once in a while you come across a mall that does crepes. Like, there's just like a place in the food court where you can just get crepes. And I've gotten them a couple of times there, but it's not as good as this one place. My first experience with crepes was already, like, top-notch, and now nothing compares.
私はさっきお昼食べさせてもらいましたから。
Yeah, you did have a banana, but that was just one banana. You can eat more.
一緒に食べようよ。
遠慮しなくていいよ。
すみません。じゃあバナナとチョコの。
You really like banana, huh? Hand plate or plated crepe? I'm assuming plated because I ate it with a fork and knife. Unless you're talking about, like, how the crepes were made, and in that case, I would not be able to tell you. This was, like, 5 years ago, I want to say? I have also had ice cream crepes. Those are pretty good. It's just, yeah, I want that fucking chicken and spinach savory crepe again. It was so good.
了解だ。
I went to buy crepes, being careful not to let Daru and Yuki see me. Aw, cute! Ah, so what they're eating is hand crepes.
すっごく美味しい。感動だよ。ですね。チョコレートの苦さが絶妙。いちごも美味しいよ。ほら、かがりさん。あーん。あーん。
Okay, I will say in this CG, have you guys seen the gif of the anime girl eating a chicken nugget like she doesn't know how food works? I don't know how I could ever look up this gif, so I can't show you, but, like, it was going around Tumblr, like, for a few years now, like, probably since, like, the late 2010s. It was just, like, a gif from this one anime that everyone was making fun of because it's this girl eating a chicken nugget, and she looks like a bird trying, like a baby bird trying to swallow a worm. It's... and the start of the gif looks very similar to, like, the face that Kagari is making here. So it just, like... I had a brain blast. It just... I saw that gif in my mind's eye. And now I can't show you guys because what the fuck do I Google to get that? I'm just realizing I knew what to Google to find the SpongeBob I'm going into labor comic and not the fucking anime girl gif. What is my life? Being on the internet is just a fucking trip sometimes. You think you found it. Either, send the link to me on Discord or put it in the Valor Valkyrie Discord, I guess? Like, if I can show it on stream, I will. Actually, now that I think about it, it probably won't even show up on stream, but, like... tell other people how they can look up the GIF, then. Luck and logic, I think? That's fair, it's just... I figured just looking up anime girl eating GIF wouldn't get me anywhere. Eating chicken GIF. Oh, here we go. Okay. 100th Assassin did send me it, yeah. Yeah, this is it! This is the one I was thinking of. Oh, the name of the anime is Luck and Logic. Okay. Visiting the site. Fuck. No. Wait. For a second, it looked like it was going to show... Wait, it shouldn't do that, right? Let me just... very quickly... I'm just gonna make sure that... I should not be pausing the stream to pull up this GIF for you guys. Alright. I'm hoping it saves correctly. And I'm hoping it also, shows up correctly on OBS. Give me just a sec. I will replace the SpongeBob one. Actually, I might have to I might have to just do media, huh? Okay, just give me 1 second. Media source. Okay. Alright, this is the GIF. This is the GIF! Oh, it only plays once and then goes away forever? Awesome, okay. Well, I hope you got to see that. Found a better edit of it too. I think I think we've gotten the point. Unless you mean better as in, like, someone, like, made a shit post of it. But, either way, I don't know if I'm gonna be showing that one on stream. You'd be better off sending it to the Valor Valkyrie Discord, which, by the way, you can also join if you are new to these streams. You can join the Valor Valkyrie Discord. That is, my friends from Bone Hurting Juice. Awesome! God, I fucking love that subreddit. And, you know, that's a fitting place to find a shitpost of that GIF, because she looks like her bones are hurting. Like, she looks like she's in pain. Anyways, we have gotten so fucking sidetracked.
おいしいって何をさせるんですか？照れなくてもいいのに女の子同士なんだし
Okay, now we can say Yuri for the win. Wait, no, wait a second, no, this was the exact thing that I was talking about before. No, wait. Fuck. That is a Yuri-ass line, though.
それはそうなんですけどあ、ほっぺにクリームついてるよやだマユシーが取ってあげる大丈夫ですよ自分で拭けますから
Okay, okay, you did send it. Just a moment, let me see. Okay, I'm pulling it up. I need to see this. I'll just post the link in chat, so this way I'm not going through all of the, Just watched a clip of it, and it's ludicrous. You comparing her to a bird was spot on. Eating the brown lump that makes you dance. Awesome. Alright. The brown lump that makes you bust a move. This is gonna be the new beach that makes you old. Kagari hurriedly took a hand mirror and handkerchief out of her pouch and wiped it off.
マユシーが取ってあげたかったな
Is it normal for people in Japan to just carry around handkerchiefs? Because I'm just realizing, like, it's come up multiple times in this stream alone in Steins Gate, like people either having handkerchiefs or not having handkerchiefs. And then it's like I'm remembering that Ebe was also made by a Japanese developer, and a handkerchief plays, like, a big role there, and that one also takes place in the modern day. Like, I figured it was, like, in Ebe, I figured it was just because Ebe... Oh, there are no disposable towels or dryers. That makes sense. Yeah, you know what? Actually, you know what? I should start carrying around a handkerchief, because one of my biggest pet peeves is when bathrooms only have those, like, hand dryers that don't even work. Like, they basically just get germs on your hands and they barely dry them off. Like, I always just end up wiping my hands on, like, my shirt or something. Or my skirt, or my pants, or whatever the hell I'm wearing, because it's like, I want my hands to actually be dry. If I just carried around a handkerchief, I wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. can. I mean, when I'm wearing Lolita, it actually would. It would fit the look. Huh. I've been given new things to consider today.
もう、まゆりさんたら困ります。どうして？どうしてって、まゆりさんに言われると、なんか変な気持ちになっちゃうから。
変な気持ち？
はい。なぜかまゆりさんにすごく甘えたくなっちゃうんですよね。
The worst part about being a man is having to carry a second shirt from when you rip the first one apart to dry your hands. Damn. There are so many struggles in this world that I don't consider.
おかしいな。私の方が年上のはずなのに。
Kaguri's cheeks flushed red as she stared up into Mayuri's eyes.
それはかがりさんがまゆしーを好きだってことだよね。まゆしーもかがりさんのこと大好きだよ。まゆりさん、私は
ああ、まゆりのそれに深い意味はないから気にしないでくれ。
そうなんですか？ねえねえ、まゆしーにも一口ちょうだい。
Some would argue the first shirt would dry just as easily unripped. Those people are wrong. I see, I see. I am sitting here, I am nodding along, I am learning so much.
しょうがないな。はい。
Mayuri took a bite of the crepe in Kaguri's hand. To someone else's eyes, it must have just looked like two sisters feeding each other crepes. Of course, Mayuri would be the little sister. But it didn't look that way to me. It looked like a little Kaguri was blushing and stretching a hand toward her mother. I really did want to get her memories back. I could only imagine what the future was like after World War III occurred. Bad. No matter how bad it got, families still must have gotten together to eat dinner. Maybe this happened in the future, too. That would be a very happy...
Huh?
どうしたの？ぼーっとして。
ああ、悪い。ちょっと考え事をしてた。
オカリンもクレープ食べたくなっちゃったのかな。今からでも買ってきたらどうですか？
Yeah, dude. Get something to eat.
大丈夫だよ。昼飯はさっき食べたし。
And the crepes look so sweet that I'd lost my appetite. Sweet is good, though.
じゃあ、まゆしーの一口あげるよ。それなら私のも。
I suddenly found myself with two smiling girls shoving two crepes in my face.
バカ、やめろ。恥ずかしいだろ。
Without even thinking, I tried to move my chair back only to get it caught on the leg of the table. No! And it all goes wrong. Yeah, I hyped up the wrong person last time. Kurisu's VA was at the convention. Oh, hell yeah! The rest of the cafe watched me as I fell flat onto the ground. I ended up attracting a lot of attention. And as a result...
岡部さんじゃないですか。
なあ、おお、オカリン、なぜここに？
Well, we've been busted. They found us. We explained to the two of them how we'd found ourselves here.
もう声をかけてくれればよかったじゃないですか。えへへ、ごめんなさい。お邪魔しちゃ悪いかなと思って。ずっと見られてたことの方が恥ずかしいですよ。
Yeah, it is a little weird. Daru's face was as placid as a sage's. Knowing that we saw him like that must have snapped his mind in half.
それでユキさんどうかな。その歌どこで知ったのか覚えてないか。
覚えてますよ。最近のことなので。
Huh?
私、お菓子教室でバイトをしてるんです。講師の先生の補佐役なんですけど。ほら、私お菓子作るの好きだからまだまだ修行中なんですけどね。ゆきさんが作るお菓子はものすごーく美味しいんだよ。そうなんですか。今度かがりさんも一緒に作ろうね。はい、ぜひ。
I tried to get the conversation back on track.
そのお菓子教室と歌にどんな関係が。
ああ、そうそう。教室に通ってる生徒さんの一人が調理の間その歌をいつも口ずさんでて。
Huh.
本人は無意識みたいなんですけど、それを歌ってる時はとても幸せそうな顔をされていて、私もいつの間にか覚えちゃいました。
その生徒はユキさんの知り合いなのか。例えば俺の知っている人だったりしないか。
それはないと思います。割とお年を召している女性なので。
Wait. An older woman who would have to be involved with the lab mems in some way, probably, knowing this story. Is it fucking Moeka? We'd played the game of telephone to this point and ended up with someone who had nothing to do with any of us. Maybe it was a really common song and Kagari had just happened to learn it from hearing someone sing it in the future. No, it was too early to assume that.
ひとまずその生徒さんに話を聞いてみよう。ユキさん、すまないがその人に連絡を取ってもらえないかな。生徒の個人情報だったら俺たちに教えるわけにもいかないだろうし。
別に構わないですよ。教室といってもそんな大げさなものじゃないですから。
This entire route is a Cromarty High skit? I don't know what that is, but yeah, this does feel like a comedy skit. Where it's like, well, where did you learn the song? From this person. Okay, we'll go talk to that person. Where did you learn the song? Oh, from this other person. Okay, well, let's talk to them. Okay, where did you hear this song? Oh, I heard it from some random other person. It's like, please. Please, we've been doing this all day.
その方の携帯のメアドも聞いてますし、よくお話もしますから。
You know her email, you say. Yuki took her phone out of her pouch and started to fiddle with it. She seems to be looking at a list of addresses.
あったあった。この人です。
She turned the phone towards us. Seeing the name of a person we'd never met wouldn't do us any good, but we looked anyway.
え？
何？
It is Moeka, isn't it?
その名前。オカリンのお母さんの名前だよ。
Oh! Huh! Not what I was expecting. Okay. There was no doubt about it. That was my mom's name. Well, shit, that is a way to tie it back to us, I guess.
ユキさんってあんたのお友達だったんだ。
Is this the first time either of Okabe's parents have talked in either of these games? The horror having to call your mom. I mean, that's not really a joke that I can make, considering that I call my family on, like, a really frequent basis. I mean, after this stream is done, I'm gonna call my grandma, so... After hearing the shocking news that Kagari's song traced its roots all the way back to my mom, we went back to the lab. It would have been embarrassing to call my mom in front of Mayuri and Kagari. So I went up to the roof in the cold to call home. When I asked my mom if she was going to a cooking class, she seemed surprised that I didn't know.
そっか、歌ね。口ずさんでるなんて全然気づかなかったわ。ちょっと恥ずかしいわね。
その歌どこで覚えたんだ？
どこでって？
ラジオで流れてたとか、他の人が歌っているのを聞いたとかさ。
はあ、あんただけど？
What?
え？
あんたが前に歌ってたのよ。
な
That sure was a noise that left your mouth, bud. Okabe's mom sounds like she smokes. Let's not cast judgments on Okabe's mom, alright?
何言ってんだよ。そんなわけないだろ。
I just want to hear this again. It sounds like a chainsaw engine coming to life. Like,
ほら、あんたが中学生の頃、まゆりちゃんが塞ぎ込んじゃった時期があったでしょ。おばあちゃんが亡くなって。みんな心配してたけど、まゆりちゃん、ある日を境に元に戻ってくれて、ほんとよかったわ。でも、代わりにあんたがおかしくなっちゃったのよね。
Yeah, you think the two weren't linked?
なんだっけ？上記のバッドサイレントテスト？
やめて。
The quiet and sudden stop. Was there anything in the world more terrifying than hearing about your own dark history from your mom?
あんたがそのバッドなんとかにかぶれ始めた頃、お風呂に入るたびに歌ってたのよ。散々聞いてるうちに覚えちゃったわ。
俺が歌っていた？
そうよ、覚えてないの？あ、お客さん来た。じゃあね、雨が降りそうだから早く帰ってきなさい。
マジか。
I just need to hear that please stop again.
やめて。
Just immediately after the embarrassing stories. Just yamete.
わかりましたか？
I explained what I'd heard from my mom, even though I didn't really understand it myself. Yeah, they were surprised. I was more surprised than anybody. I was so surprised that I was actually feeling pretty calm.
なるとどういうことなんでしょうか？
No fucking idea, to be honest. What did it mean? Kagari had learned the song from Mayuri in the future. Mayuri had learned it in the present from Suzuha. Suzuha had learned it from Yuki in the future. Yuki had learned it from my mom. And my mom had learned it from me.
俺歌なんて歌ってたか。
マユシーも覚えてないな。
If it was a popular song, maybe I would have hummed it, but...
ダメだ。思い出せない。
Damn. So we went around in a circle, and now we're back at square one.
どうしよう。手がかりなくなっちゃったね。
Mayuri looked like she was about to cry. Kagari gave her a gentle hug.
落ち着いてください、マユリさん。岡部さん、そのマユリさんが落ち込んでいた時っていうのは何か手がかりになりませんか？
Future Okabe stole it from a musician and emailed it back to him. God, for all we know, that could be the fucking reasoning. Like, this is all just one big stable time loop that's gonna end with Okabe teaching his middle school self that fucking song. And it's gonna turn out to be, like, the most important thing in the entire franchise.
そうは言っても何か特別なことをしていたわけじゃないからな。マユリが墓参りに行ってるのも迎えに行くくらいで。
That was when Kyoma Hoyoin, now sealed away, had been born.
じゃあそのお墓に行ってみませんか？何か思い出すかも。
Was that possible?
ここまで来たなら最後まできちんと確かめてみたいですから。
That's fair. I do like how this has come full circle as well, in that first we were trying to help Kagari learn something she'd forgotten, and now Kagari is helping us try to remember something we've forgotten.
おかり、マユシーからもお願い。
わかった。行こう。
ありがとうございます。
The sun was about to set, so we decided to go to the next day. Better yet, it's a bad end. Okabe learns it was from a Sentai with everyone, and he promptly dies from cringe. Alright, so now we have plans for tomorrow. The next day, the sky had been cloudy since morning. I met with Kagari and Mayuri at a spot near the cemetery where her grandmother was buried. Wait, I thought people in Japan usually cremated their dead. I thought that, like, because I remember reading somewhere that, like, apparently, like, burying your dead isn't really done in Japan. I wonder if that was a change that they made specifically for, like, the English translation, because burying people is more common in the West.
雨降ってきちゃいそうだね。私、傘持ってきてないんですよね。天気予報では降らないって言ってたから。マユシーもだよ。
And I never brought an umbrella when it wasn't raining. In other words, nobody had an umbrella.
雨が降り出す前に切り上げるようにしよう。
Actually, that reminds me. So Friday I made a little bit of a mistake. So I had seen on my weather app on my phone that it was supposed to thunderstorm around, like, from around 4 until 6. Cremation is preferred due to available space, yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I wonder if that was originally different, like, in the Japanese version. It would imply they got money. Oh, okay. Interesting. But yeah, so, Friday, after work, I left. Skies were pretty clear. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go watch, like, some YouTube videos for a bit. Just relax. It's been a busy week. It's been a bit of a weird week. So I did that. And then at around 6:30, I was like, oh, well, I wanted to take a little walk over to Popeyes, get myself some chicken. And, I looked outside, and all of a sudden, there were, like, some dark clouds, and I was like, oh, fuck, I better go now. So I take my little walk. It starts raining halfway through. I'm like, fuck, I didn't bring an umbrella. Shit. I get to Popeyes right as the torrential downpour starts. I literally was just sitting in this Popeyes, like, waiting for the rain to clear up for, like, an hour. So, yeah, I ended up actually just calling my grandma while I was there, because it's like, well, I was planning on doing this tonight anyways, so might as well do it now while I have free time. I'm not doing anything else. I can't really do anything else. And it's better than just staring at my phone the whole time. Gotta love getting stuck in the rain. The worst part is, I didn't even have an excuse. Like, I brought my backpack with me. And really, I should just bring, like, you know those collapsible umbrellas? Like the ones that turn really little so you can fit them in like a purse easier? I have one of those. I can just put it in my backpack. Why haven't I done this already? It would have solved the entire issue that day.
おばあちゃん、オカリンが来てくれて喜ぶだろうな。
そうだな。
それに今日はかがりさんも来てくれたし、マユシーの素敵なお友達をおばあちゃんに紹介できるのが楽しみなのです。マユリさん、オカリン、早く行こう。マユシーはおばあちゃんに話したいことがたくさんあるのです。
そうだな。急ごう。
We finally arrived at the cemetery. The skies were getting darker and it felt like it could rain at any minute. Wait, this wasn't here last time. Or was it? We finished cleaning the grave and each of us put our hands together in front of us. Then Mayuri sat down and started talking to her grandma. Kagari and I watched her from a short distance away.
それでね、かがりさんが驚いた顔で入ってきて、バターンって気絶しちゃったんだ。もうびっくりしたよ。マユシーはすっごく慌てちゃったし、すっごく心配だったんだけど、どうしてもバイトに行かなきゃいけなくて。だからオカリンとダルくんにかがりさんのことお願いって言ってラボを出たの。でも本当は心配で心配で胸がはち切れそうだったんだよ。岡部さん、
Kagari whispered to me, concerned.
ああ。マユリのことなら気にしないでくれ。あれは儀式みたいなものなんだ。
儀式？
ああ。マユリはおばあちゃん子でさ、そのおばあちゃんが亡くなった時には魂が抜けたみたいになってたんだ。半年くらい誰とも口を聞かずに、毎日ここに来ては一日中ぼんやり立ってた。
Oh yeah, it could alternatively be a family grave, just a marble stone to mark where members of that family are mourned. Fair enough, fair enough.
まるで自分もおばあちゃんのところに行ければいいのにって祈っているように見えた。
それを岡部さんが連れ戻したんですよね。
どうしてそれを？
まゆりさんから聞いちゃいました。
あいつめ。
いいじゃないですか。かっこいいですよ。マッドサイエンティストの法王院京馬さん。
His chuny past is haunting him like some sort of specter.
やめてくれ。あの時は必死だったんだ。後から思えば正解だったわけだけど、やっぱり恥ずかしい真似をしたと思うよ。
I'd used every bit of knowledge I could scrape up from anime and video games to try and keep Mayuri's soul from leaving us.
連れてなんて行かせない。マユリは俺の人質だ。人体実験の生贄なんだ。どこにも逃がさないからな。
そっか。マユシーは人質なんだね。じゃあしょうがないね。うんうん。とても素敵なお話だと思います。
I think so too.
そうかな。
そうですよ。あ、
ん？
降ってきました。
I looked up just in time for a drop to fall on my cheek. A cold rain started to come
こ
down.
んなに早く降り始めるとは思いませんでしたね。どうします？
We'd just gotten here and hadn't done anything yet. I wanted to at least do a little research before we left.
一旦雨宿りできる場所を探そう。コンビニで傘を買ってもいいし。
わかりました。まゆりさん、一度駅に戻りましょう。え？ああ、雨だ。
The rain started to come down harder as we ran towards the station.
ずぶ濡れだよ。先に傘を買っておけばよかったですね。これじゃシャワー浴びないと風邪ひいちゃうね。そうだ。かがりさん、まゆしーのお家来る？一緒にシャワー浴びようよ。あれ？
Mayuri turned around and suddenly stopped. I stopped too. I looked back and saw that Kagari wasn't keeping up with us. She was standing some distance away with a blank look on her face. She was facing us but seemed to be staring off into the distance.
かがりさん、どうしたの？聞こえる。
Her voice was flat and emotionless. It was like she was a different person than the one who had been there a moment before.
聞こえるって何が？
Oh, I think I know what she's about to say.
声。
Uh-oh!
声が聞こえる。かがりさん？
Mayuri started to walk towards Kagari.
私、行かなきゃ。
And suddenly, Kagari ran through the puddles of water and out into the street. A truck was coming. Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Mayuri screamed, and my body moved on its own. I yanked Mayuri's shoulder down and knocked her to the ground so that she couldn't run out on her own. And then I used that momentum to run out into the street myself. Oh, shit. Welcome, Rianu Keeves. Yeah, we've just had a certified truck-kun moment. Well, Okame. All of your fantasies could come true. You might become the isekai protagonist you've always dreamed of.
気にしなかったんだよ。ママがかがりちゃんくらいの年の頃はね、雨が降るのは楽しみだったんだ。オカリンと一緒にお外を走り回ったの。雨の中を走るとね、まるで海の中を泳いでるみたいなんだ。オカリンとママはね、その中を泳ぐ魚なの。世界でたった2匹だけの。楽しかったな。
それはいつのことだっただろう。1998年に鈴葉お姉ちゃんと別れてから長いこと閉じ込められていた施設。私がそこから逃げ出したのはいつのことだっただろう。逃げ出した理由は急にママに会いたくなったから、それだけだった。
At the place where she was kept, Kagari was waiting for the professor to come like always, when she happened to look outside and see that it was raining. When she smelled the water through the window, she remembered what her mom had said. And the next thing she knew, she'd taken off the headset she was wearing. Nobody had expected it, so escaping was easy. She ripped off the cords on her arms and used the little window to go outside. And then she'd snuck in the back of a truck that was just leaving the parking lot. The facility she'd been kept in must have been deep within the mountains. After hours of shaking, the truck finally reached a town somewhere. When the truck stopped, she jumped out and wandered in the rain with nowhere to go. She didn't have any destination in mind. She wanted to see her mom, but didn't know where she was. And even if she did find her, her mom would have been younger than Kagari and wouldn't know who she was. She'd run away from the facility on impulse, but she had no money, and there was nothing she could do. Except wait for the professor to come find her. Until then, she wanted to get wet in the rain. The rain kept falling for a long time. Her clothes got wet, but she didn't care.
雨が痛くないなんて変な感じ。
The rain in this era didn't sting when it landed on your skin. It was warm. For the first time, Kagari learned that nature could do things other than hurt you. There was life in this rain. That's how it felt to her. The rain in this era was alive. It was totally different than the dead rain of the future. Kagari kept walking, enjoying the feeling of being surrounded by living rain. How long had she walked? When her legs finally started to get tired, she sat down at a bench with a roof over it. It was a trolley platform. It was unmanned without even a ticket station. She sat down and looked up at the sky. The rain was still falling.
きっと神様はこの雨も嫌いなんだろうな。生きている雨より死んでいる雨の方が好きなんだろうな。そうじゃなきゃ未来の雨が死んでいる理由を説明できないもの。
The dead rain sure didn't seem better than the living rain to Kagari. But there was one thing she was sure of. In the future, where Mom was, the rain was dead. When she saw Mom again, the rain would be dead. So she wasn't really mad at God.
迷子ですか?
Wait. I recognize that voice. A boy was standing next to the bench. He was the same age as Kagari, or maybe a little younger. He was holding an umbrella, but the area below his knees was soaking wet. He must have walked in the rain for a long time. Kagari said nothing as he sat down next to her. He looked tired and in pain.
僕も
The boy talked to her in a voice that was a whisper. What he talked about she couldn't remember. But he seemed to be in so much pain, as if he was carrying the weight of the whole world's sadness on his shoulders. Why had he talked to her when they'd never met before? Why had he decided to open up to Kagari? Strangely, it didn't bother her. She was the same. She was the same as he was. And strangely, she realized something. There were things in this world that you just couldn't change. There were things in this world where all you could do was watch them slip through your fingers. You couldn't give up on them, but you had no choice but to give up. She felt that despair. Maybe the rain had brought the two of them together. There were so many people in the world, and yet the two of them had no one they could talk to. So maybe the rain had brought them together. The living rain. The warm rain. The gentle rain.
オカリンとママはね、その中を泳ぐ魚なの。世界でたった2匹だけの。
Mommy had looked so happy when she'd told that story. But it sounded sad to Kagari. Because the world was so big, and it was just the two of them alone. It would be lonely and sad to have no one else there. That's what she'd thought. But now she understood how Mom felt, just a little. Just two fish, alone in the world. But that was different than being totally alone. No matter what else, there was someone next to you who felt the same way. It was lonely, but she was sure it wasn't that lonely. That's what she felt, at the bottom of the sea of living rain. Oh my god, this is where he learned it. It really is a fucking closed circle! Yeah, really, 100th Assassin, like... Man, we went from happy, silly slice of lifetimes to... Holy shit! There was nothing Kagari could do for the boy, but she felt like he needed that song. The next thing she knew, the boy was gone.
雨やまないな。
探したよ。
God damn it.
ほら、行こう。どうしたんだい？
私、行かなきゃ。
She shook off the professor's hand and ran off into the street through the pouring rain. And then she saw a truck splashing up water from the puddles as it came barreling towards her. Man. Kagari woke up and realized she was in a hospital bed.
かかりさん、
Mayuri was looking down at her with eyes swollen bright red.
おかり、かがりさん気がついたよ。
かがり、
私
トラックにはねられそうになったんだ。怪我はなかったんだけどな。気を失ってたから念のために救急車を呼んだ。君は保険証を持ってないから医療費はとんでもない額になるかもな。
しょうがないよ。あの時はそうするしかなかったもん。かがりさんが無事でよかった。おかりんがね、ギリギリのところで助けたんだよ。二人とも死んじゃったのかと思って。まゆしいわ、まゆし
泣くなよ、まゆり。
そうでした。ぼんやり覚えてます。岡部さんが飛び出してきてくれたこと。ごめんなさい。私どうかしてた。ありがとう。
いや、無事ならいいんだ。
I do kind of wonder what triggered Kagari to do that. Because it did seem like she was sort of like reliving that memory of whenever she first lost her memories. Like trying to get away from the professor, running into the road, getting hit by a truck. But what caused that? Like, I know that in the previous timeline, there were like those ice cream trucks that were going around playing like the sleeper agent activation song, but I don't think that's what happened this time. Vesta, why are you meowing at me? In a fit of emotion, Mayuri leapt on Kagari.
よかったよ、かがりさん。本当に心配したんだから。
まゆりさん。違う。
Kagari finally understood everything.
そうじゃない。この人はまゆりさんじゃない。そうだ。この人はママだ。やっと。
Okay. Vesta, come on. Get down from there. Why you gotta block the chat? No! If it was a normal traffic accident, that's also plausible. Those streets are not pedestrian friendly. Are they not? I would have assumed that Japan would be more pedestrian friendly, because I've heard that, like, a lot of people there don't own cars. But then again, I mean, I don't own a car, and the city I live in sure as fuck isn't pedestrian friendly. That's why getting isekai'd by a truck is so common. I see, I see.
やっと会えた。
Now it was Kagari's turn to give Mayuri a big hug. It's the suburb streets. There is no sidewalk, only roads and blind turns. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster right there.
ママ？あ、かがりさん、違うよ。まゆしはママじゃないよ。
違ってなんかない。ママはかがりのママなの。
She couldn't stop herself from talking like a little girl. The last 10 years vanished, and Kagari was once again a small child.
ママって、かがり、記憶が戻ったのか？
おかりん、おじさん。全部思い出した。 私は椎名真由里の娘、椎名かがりだよ。
だってかがりさんマユシーより年上だよ。それにマユシーは赤ちゃん産んだりとかしてないし。
ママ、私は未来から来たんだよ。未来のママは孤児だった私を引き取って養女にしてくれたの。
マユシーが？
そうだよ。私に生きる理由を与えてくれたのがママなの。
Hey, wait a second. I just realized that the decor of this hospital is kind of familiar. Like, specifically the coloration with, like, the greens and the yellows. Is this the same hospital that Dr. Leskinen went to about the encephalitis cases? Is he about to find Kagari?
ママはね、私を危ない目に遭わせないために一番安全なところに逃がしてくれた。
It's either the same hospital or they're using the same assets. I'll be honest, I don't have much faith in the latter.
安全なところ？
過去だよ。ママが幼かった頃のまだ平和だった日本でなら安全に暮らせるだろうって。でもやっぱり寂しかった。ここにはママがいないんだもの。どんな安全な場所でもママと離れ離れになるんじゃ意味なんてないもん。
Oh, they sure do. They sure do love their, unfortunate coincidences. That's why I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna go so bad.
ママ、会いたかったよ。
Kagari clung to Mayuri on the soft bed and cried for a long time. At first, Mayuri was confused, but she eventually hugged her back, gently.
かがりちゃん。ごめんね。ごめんね。ごめんね。辛かったよね。寂しかったよね。ママのせいでずっと泣いてたんだよね。ごめんね。ママ。
Okay, good. Scene change. Awesome. Nothing horrible is happening yet.
こうして私、椎名かがりはすべての記憶を取り戻した。
Huh. Wait, is this the whole ending?
それからの数ヶ月間はただ楽しかった。毎日のようにラボに集まってママやその友達と遊んだ。みんな本当にいい人たちだった。退屈する暇なんて1秒もなかった。特にママはできるだけ時間を作って私と一緒にいてくれた。一緒にご飯を食べに行ったり、一緒にショッピングに行ったり、目的もなく一緒に散歩したりした。たあいもないそのすべてが私が心の底から求め続けていたものだった。以前は頭の中に響いていた声もママとたくさん話しているうちにいつの間にか聞こえなくなっていた。
Good. This is the kind of life that Kagari deserves. She went through way too much shit.
ママはどんな時でも笑顔を私に見せてくれた。そして心から嬉しそうに私の話を聞いてくれた。本 本当に幸せだった。お泊まり会も何度もした。ラボやママの家やルカ君の家でお菓子を食べながら遅くまで話して、夜はママと同じ布団で眠りについた。布団の中では小さな声で二人であの歌を歌った。ママが二人をつないでくれた歌だと言ったあの歌を。確かにあの歌は私とママとをつないでくれた。私は小さい頃にママにこの歌を教えてもらった。ママは鈴葉お姉ちゃんから聞いた。鈴葉お姉ちゃんはユキさんから、ユキさんはオカリンおじさんのお母さんから、オカリンおじさんのお母さんはオカリンおじさんから、そしてオカリンおじさんは、確かなことはわからない。でももしそうだったらそれはとても素敵なことだ。
Sure is. Like that's a fortunate coincidence.
他にもママとたくさん話した。学校の話、ラボの話、オカリンおじさんの話、未来の話、恋の話、本当にいろんなことを。ある時ママが急にこんな話をしたことがあった。
ねえかがりちゃん、まゆしんはね、思うのです。この歌は大好きな人を励ます歌なんじゃないかなって。その人は大切な宝物をなくして悲しくて悲しくて眠っちゃったの。どんなに揺さぶっても眠ったまま。それくらい悲しかったから。でもね、その宝物は実はなくなってないんだ。本当はちょっと手を伸ばせば届くところにあるの。だけどその人は宝物がすぐ近くにあることに気づかないでずっと眠ったままなの。でもね、その人はきっと本当は誰かが起こしてくれるのをずっと待ってるんだ。
Oh, you said in the future. Sorry, I'm too sad to wake up for work today.
だってね、その人はそばにいるから。いなくなったわけじゃないから。それがいつになるのかわからないけど、それでもいつかきっと目を覚ましてくれる。そういう歌なんじゃないかなって思うんだ。
そしてママは私を見てにっこりと微笑んでくれた。カーテンから漏れる月明かりでぼんやりと見えたママの瞳がとても澄んで見えた。初めて見る綺麗な色の瞳だった。けれど後から思うと、あの時のママの瞳は以前にも見たことがあった。
Oh?
あの時私が記憶を取り戻したあの雨の日、ママは私を抱きしめながらあんな瞳をしていた。
Aw. This is such a sweet
マ
ending!
マはずっと同じ言葉を繰り返していた。ごめんね、かがりちゃん、ごめんねと。そのごめんねはママが未来のママ自身の代わりに謝っているんだと思ってた。未来のママが私を一人ぼっちにしたことを謝っているんだって、そう思ってた。けれどそうじゃなかった。あの時 ママは他の誰でもなく、2011年の椎名真由里として私に謝っていたんだ。私を一人ぼっちにしてごめんねと。そのことに気づいたのは半年後、2011年7月7日。
Huh?
七夕の日だった。
Oh, fuck.
本当は分かってた。こんなところに呼び出して、ママ、何の用かな。何かサプライズでも考えてるのかな。
Kagari whispered as if she wanted it to be true. Today was July 7th. Tanabata. The lab was going to have a Tanabata party with the Tenyoji family on the roof of the building. It was essentially an excuse to hold a barbecue. Hell yeah! The sky was clear that day, so the night stars were sure to be pretty.
早く戻って準備の続きしなきゃ。ママと一緒に。
You know, I'm just imagining one of those like handshake memes, but it's like the US with the 4th of July, Canada with the 1st of July, Japan with the 7th of July, getting excuses to cook a bunch of food and hang out with your friends.
本当は分かってた。
Are there fireworks involved in Tanabata? Because I know about like hanging up the paper slips on the tree with like your wishes. I know about that part, but I don't know anything else about Tanabata and how it's celebrated. I'm getting so many notifications tonight. What the heck is up with that?
この呼び出しが何を意味するのか。
There are fireworks? Hell yeah! My fucking three-way handshake meme is even better because of that.
分かってて、でも自分に対して分からないふりをしてた。本当はここには来たくなかった。見たくないものから目をそらしていたかった。
I took one step after another toward the roof. US, Canada, Japan, scaring birds on random nights in early July.
早く行かなきゃ。ママが待ってる。どうして今になって。ママ。
When I opened the door, I was met with a burst of warm wind and the gentle summer twilight. The stars could already be seen twinkling in the evening sky. Mayuri was there. She was standing right next to the time machine. She had one hand on her head to keep the wind from blowing away her hat, and another reached out toward the sky. Her open hand stretched straight up toward the Akihabara sky, as if she was trying to grab the brightest star. Her eyes seemed to look past the stars toward something beyond. It was so pretty, so ephemeral, and so fragile.
Mama.
Kagari couldn't stop herself from crying out. It felt like if she didn't stop her, the stars would take her mother away.
かがりちゃん。てってるー。
てってるー。
ママ。
The tension started to drain from Kagari's body. Good. Mommy was acting normal now. There was nothing to worry about. Mommy would never leave her. Ever. When Kagari ran over, Mayuri lowered the hand that she'd reached out toward the sky.
どうしたの？どうしてここに呼んだの？
Mayuri smiled, slightly embarrassed, and spun the other way. And then she looked up at the time machine.
かがりちゃんはこれに乗ってきたんだよね。
急に何？そんなしみじみ言うことじゃ。
Her words caught in her throat. She realized that the time machine's hatch was open.
どうしてタイムマシンのハッチが開いてるの？
And then someone appeared from within the time machine.
かがり、お前どうして？それはこっちのセリフだよ。二人で何してるの？
まゆ姉さん、かがりには秘密にしておくって約束したじゃないか。黙っててごめんね、すずさん。まゆしーね、どうしてもかがりちゃんにはちゃんとお別れを言っておきたかったの。すぐ終わるから準備を進めておいて。
Okay, Vesta, you're blocking the chat. This is too dramatic of a moment. You can't be blocking the screens.
わかった。終わったら乗って。
Suzuha disappeared back inside the time machine.
秘密？お別れ？準備？ママも鈴葉お姉ちゃんも何の話をしてるの？私全然わからないよ。本当は分かってた。本当はママからメッセージが来た時からもう分かってた。でも認めたくなかった。タイムマシンがまたかがりとママを離れ離れにしてしまうことを認めたくなかったの。
あのね、まゆしーはこれからすずさんと一緒にタイムマシンに乗るの。大事な人に目を覚ましてもらうために。
無理だよ。世界線は収束しちゃうの。ママや鈴葉お姉ちゃんがどんなに頑張ったって変えられない。誰にも変えようがないのよ。
そうだね。きっとまゆしーじゃ変えられない。
だったら。
でもね、オカリンは別なの。オカリンには未来を変える力がある。そのオカリンを、あの日のオカリンの背中をちょっとだけ押すぐらいならまゆしーにもできるはずだから。チャンスはあの日だけだから。
うまくいくわけない。
Kagari grabbed Mayuri's arms, but she just smiled, sadly.
それでもまゆしーはもう一度会いたいんだ。法王院京馬に、私の彦星様にもう一度会いたいの。
そんな。でも本当は分かってた。
Ever since the day she got her memories back, Kagari's life had become truly happy. She'd lived every day in a peaceful Japan with no war, and with Mayuri and the rest of the lab. Every day shined like a jewel, and she'd thought it would last forever. But she'd known what that look in Mayuri's eyes had meant. She'd known why, even when everyone was having fun, Mayuri always seemed kind of sad.
私はどうなるの？もしオカリンおじさんがシュタインズゲートへたどり着いたとして、 そこでは戦争が起きないかもしれない。そうすればたくさんの人は救われるかもしれない。だけどそしたら私はママと会えないよ。
そんなことないよ。どの未来でだってマユシーとかがりちゃんは会えるよ。その世界ではかがりちゃんは一人じゃないかもしれない。本当のお父さんとお母さんがいて幸せに暮らしているかもしれない。でもマユシーはそれでもかがりちゃんに会いに行くから。それでね、かがりちゃんととっても仲良しになるから。だからかがりちゃんは何にも心配しなくていいんだよ。
私もママもお互いのことを忘れちゃうかもしれないんだよ。私のことを覚えていないのにどうやって会いに来てくれるの？絶対無理だよ。
マユシーにはきっとかがりちゃんがわかるよ。
なんでそんなことを言い切れるの？
だってね、それが運命だもん。マユシーとかがりちゃんの絆はどんなことにも負けたりしない。だから今の記憶がなくなっても絶対にマユシーはあなたを見つけ出すから。ママ。
Tears like pearls fell from Mayuri's eyes, but she kept smiling at Kagari anyway. And for the first time, Kagari realized how strong Mayuri Shina really was. She realized even if Mayuri didn't, how tough and strong her will was. This girl, who seemed so small and fragile, believed in the power of the future more than anyone in the world.
じゃあそろそろ行くね。
Mayuri was about to get in the time machine. She could see Mayuri's legs shaking with each step up the ladder she took. She couldn't let this happen. It would just end up like that day in 2036. Kagari couldn't take that anymore. Kagari clung to Mayuri's body.
ママを過去になんて行かせない。ママの代わりに私が行く。
Kagari grabbed the phone that Mayuri was holding and then pulled down on her hard. Mayuri lost her balance and fell off the ladder. And Kagari leapt inside.
かがり、お前正気か
Kagari ignored her and leaned out of the hatch to smile down at Mayuri.
ママ、ホカリンおじさんは私が何とかしてみせる。だからそこで待ってて。かがりちゃん。鈴葉お姉ちゃん、ハッチを閉めていいのか？うん、わかった。
Man, the parallels! After all this, now she's choosing to go into the time machine. The hatch started to close. Mayuri was staring up at Kagari in shock.
かがりちゃん。
ママ、私、ママのことずっと愛してる。過去も今も未来でも。
And then the hatch closed. She couldn't see her beloved mother anymore. She wiped away the tears, sat down in the passenger seat, and strapped herself in. Suzuha sat in the main seat and grinned.
まさかもう一度お前と乗ることになるとは思わなかった。
一番最初に戻っただけだよ。
最初とは大違いだ。あの時のお前はピーピー泣いてた。
鈴葉お姉ちゃんだってちょっぴり泣いてたくせに。
そうだな。行くよ、かがり。過去へ。
Suzuha tapped at the console, and the whole seat started to shake. At the same time, a pale light began to shine from within the machine. The time travel was beginning. There was no guarantee it would work. She might never see Mayuri again, but she swore that she would make this succeed. As the daughter of Mayuri Shina. Okay, good. For a split second, I thought that they were starting up the sound of an explosion. No matter how far apart they were, that song would connect them together. Damn. Holy shit, that ending. Okay, again, I'm not sure if it can get me in, like, any copyright trouble, to play this, so I'm gonna just, skip. There we go, cleared recursive Mother Goose. And that means that we have just one more ending to get before the true end. But we're not going to be getting that ending today because it's already 9 o'clock and I gotta work tomorrow. But yeah, this is the second week in a row that I'm going, holy shit, that ending! All that tragedy to teach Okabe a silly song! Oh, we sure do love tragedies in this household. Oh, man. Man! Yeah, that ending. I'm very glad that I waited to get that ending until now, because that would not have hit as hard if I didn't see, like, how Kagari turned out in the other timelines, because I'm guessing that the big difference between those ending timelines and the one that we just got is, that basically Kagari ran away from the professor whenever she was found again, basically. Because I think the whole getting hit by a truck thing could have been, like, how she ended up with the Urushibaras. And that wouldn't have happened if she hadn't run away. And if she stayed, they definitely would have just brainwashed her some more, which would have ended up with her being how she was in the bad ending and in the other one that we got, the Mayuri ending. So, yeah, man. We really only have Maho's ending to go. It's kind of surreal to think about, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't help that this stream series has been going on for so goddamn long. I really wish that I had, like, the energy to stream more often. It's just hard for me to keep up with life as it is. Like, we would definitely be done this a lot sooner if I could stream, like, 2 or 3 times a week. Unfortunately, that is not the kind of person I am. But, yeah, I am really, really interested to see what the fuck this true ending is gonna be. Because, like, a lot of the endings felt very similar at first, where, like, okay, we did have the Kurisu ending, which is basically Okabe goes back to being a chuuni after successfully getting Kagari out of being turned into Kurisu. Then after that, like, with the bad ending and the Mayuri ending, those felt very similar in a lot of ways. Both because they were on the same route, but also because, like, we were mostly seeing things from Okabe's perspective, and getting insight as to, like, oh, here's what's gonna be happening in the future. This one, and the Mayuri ending, actually, because the Mayuri ending was, like, I don't know what I'm saying with, like, the bad end. What's the other fucking one that I got? There was another one that I got that, wait, no, I'm misremembering. Okay, weird. No excuses. Video games are more important than real life and working to get food. Fuck you, Red. I can't believe I didn't realize this sooner. But, yeah, I am... First off, I'm interested to see what the fuck the Maho ending is even gonna look like. Because, from the looks of things, it's like everything pretty much stems from, first off, the shrine, where you choose whether to turn your phone off or not. This one, the Maho ending seems to be a cut short version of either the Kurisu or Kagari ending. Because those two have 3 choices to get to them. The Maho ending only has 2. And it's to ignore a phone call from Amadeus. So that makes me think that maybe we're not going to change the world line in any way in that version, because it was brought up in this one, and I think probably also the Kurisu ending because it's been so fucking long ago. It was mentioned there that, yeah, the timeline did change, and that's what led to the timeline where Kagari had Kurisu's memories. So I'm wondering what a timeline where that doesn't happen looks like. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. And of course, it all depends on whether or not Val and I are doing disco next weekend, because we might. I'm not sure yet. Stuff keeps coming up in both of our lives that makes it hard for us to do disco. And hopefully next time it's not gonna take us a full hour to get to streaming, because that fucking sucked. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. So, let's get into the usual... Actually, I did remember something during, while we were reading, but I didn't want to bring it up because there wasn't a good time for it, but I do want to say, I was so fucking mixed up on time on Friday that I saw on the calendar, like, oh, Sunday is the 1st, and in my head I thought, aw, fuck, Sunday is April Fool's Day and I have nothing planned! And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to explain to people, like, oh, I don't have anything planned for April Fool's Day, or I'm gonna have to, like, spend the weekend figuring something out. And then like, 5 minutes of thinking about this later, I was like, bitch, it's fucking May. Time doesn't work like that. Alright, now with that out of the way, with that fun little, that fun little anecdote out of the way, let's get into the usual end of stream bullshit. So if you're new around here, you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. You'll be notified whenever I go live next. Also, if you want to find out if I have canceled the stream, if I am streaming last minute on, like, a friend's Twitch channel, if I'm, you know, doing, like, any other stuff, check out Blue Sky, because, that's probably where it's gonna be posted. I did find out during my last stream with Val that I do have community posts, so I could also do it there, but the thing is, like I said, sometimes these things are, like, last minute. So, yeah, you're better off, being subscribed to my Blue Sky. And, yeah. outside of that, I do have to say, I came to a realization over the week, and it's that my sign-off, I think, is the same as Markiplier's. And we can't do that anymore. So if you guys know a good way to end these streams, like, I just meant it as a pun, as in, oh, I'll see you guys next time, bye, because of all the eyes. But no, that's just what Markiplier says. I didn't realize. I haven't watched the guy outside of Unis Honest since, like, 2018, I want to say? Completely unintentional, Markiplier, if you're watching. Sorry for stealing your bit. I'm gonna have to find a new one now. But I'm not sure what the fuck it's gonna be. So, bye everyone. Markipliable. Markipliable? Markipliable! Oh my god. Thank you for the stream. Happy Pride Month. Yeah, happy Pride Month, Rihanna Keeps. Be safe, have fun. See, I can't take that one, because that's Val's thing. That's the problem. Every one that I think of, I'm like, wait, I can think of another person who says this exact thing. So, I will see you guys next Sunday. Have sweet dreams and good days tomorrow. Bye. I don't know if that's the sign-off now, but that's what we're going with this week. Bye!